sovereignty? Or how about this? If I only had the word sovereign, and I said, the sovereign, who or what would you think of? A king. That's because the word sovereignty literally means the authority to rule. And 500 years ago, the sovereign was the king. The king was the sovereign. Those concepts were literally synonymous. And where did the king claim his authority to rule? God. Sisters and brothers, you do not get more legitimate. Right? In order to really underscore this, I am going to engage in a short little exercise, and we'll actually illustrate this. And this is always a lot of fun for me. You'll see, I invite this sanctuary to please close your eyes and repeat after me. David Cobb is the king.
David Cobb is the king.
I told y'all this was fun for me. And as the king, David is God's representative on earth.
As a king, David is God's representative on earth.
One more try. And therefore, everything that David says must be obeyed as law.
And therefore, everything David says must be obeyed.
Okay. At this point, oftentimes I say, okay, open your eyes. But I just want to point out that not a single person here still has their eyes closed. To which I say, good on you, Grand Rapids. Right?
Yeah.
And the second thing I'll observe is that not a single one of you repeated what I just said, right? And the third thing I'll observe is, as soon as you heard the first statement, you all collectively chuckled about it. Did you catch that? And of course you did that because that's funny. That I should say to Scott how he has to live his life because of who my parents are, or even better, that I get to tell everybody in all of society how they have to organize themselves and what is or is not the law. That's absurd. Of course you laugh about that. That's funny. And 500 years ago, human beings just like you not only said it, but they believed it. And if they didn't believe it, they didn't dare say otherwise. And now, y'all hold on, because the text is going to get metaphysical on y'all. Y'all ready? That's because we are all individually participating in creating our shared collective reality. Another way to say this is that if enough people think that something is true, if enough people act like it's true, it's true. And so, 500 years ago, it was true that the king was sovereign. The king did have absolute authority to rule. And I want to really underscore something, folks, that statement that elicits laughter and chuckle from you was absolute reality and unquestioned truth. So when people tell me we can't amend the Constitution, when people tell me that it's too hard to imagine that kind of deep systemic change, I think to myself, have you not been paying attention? Because let me tell you something, folks. You know, I have a long history of working in coalition. I've worked with Green Party people. I've worked with Democrats. I've worked on the Patriot Act work I did, the Anti-Patriot Act, and pro-civil liberties work. I work very frequently with libertarians and Republicans. You know, I work with socialists and